morning, y'all. Happy October. I'm actually here by my lonesome, which has been, I don't know, I was like sad about it. I don't really, now that I live with Sebastian, I really enjoy living with Sebastian. And so I love my alone time, but just knowing that he's not here kind of makes me sad and not scared. I'm not scared of the neighborhood. Like, nothing is different, you know? But yeah, he's actually in Europe with his parents. They're going to Italy and France. I did not go because for a few reasons. So one, finance, I've traveled a lot, you know, throughout the last year and did not want to spend X amount of dollars on that. Two is taking PTO. My company would allow for it. Like, I technically have unlimited PTO, you know, but I have to hit hours and I'm behind on those hours, which I think I've talked about. So, yeah. And then the third thing is because I'm vegan, being around people who are not vegan, especially while traveling, is like being a burden, you know? So that can make it hard to travel with multiple people who are not vegan, being the only vegan. But as I was getting ready today, I was listening to a podcast and I just made my coffee, as y'all saw. I wanted to show y'all something. Look how cute. Look how cute these are. And they're quite comfortable. I love them. Look how cute. It just looks great. I love this color. Very happy with this purchase. So, obviously this table is still here, but I ordered a table to go along with these, and that should be here this week as well. And the other thing is that I didn't tell Sebastian that I ordered these. I wanted him to be surprised when he got back. So I'm excited for him to even see it before even knowing that I got them. I think I did show him which ones I was which table and chairs I did want to purchase, but I was maybe I'll wait until Black Friday, which I was going to. I was hesitant about ordering right now, but then there was a flash sale on these chairs and I was like, whatever, just buy it. And so I did, and I'm glad because it's so cute. And this table, we've just, it's time. This is not the comfiest table. The chair is, sitting on this does not feel good. And it's up high. It's hard to get up here. And it's only for 2 people. So I'm very excited for that table to come in. And then these chairs, these are from Wayfair, by the way. So is the table. And it was super easy to put together. And I think the table will be as well. I changed the background of my work computer. Cute, right? Would y'all absolutely hate me if I started this vlog off with reviewing books as well? You can skip. I'll put the time again if you don't want to hear about books. Okay. Y'all saw in my last video that I decided to read The Maidens, and I finished this really quickly, probably in 2 days, 3 days. And Alex Michaelides, if you don't know, he's the author of The Silent Patient, which is a really good psychological thriller. I think I talked about that last time. So I was pretty excited about this book. Now, this is about a woman. Her name is Mariana, and she is a psychotherapist. They're always psychotherapists in these books. You're some sort of psychologist, but she does group therapy. And she gets a call one day from her niece that she thinks her friend is the one. There was a girl who was murdered, so she thinks it's her friend who was murdered. So then Mariana goes to her niece. They go to, is it Cambridge? Yes, Cambridge University. And while she's there, she decides to start investigating this murder on her own, basically. And she is super fixated on this one professor. I think his name is Edward Fosca. So she's basically trying to find evidence that he is the murderer. And then somebody else dies, and she's like, okay, it has to be him, and all these reasons, blah, blah, blah. So that's the gist of the story. It sounds like it would be good, but this was a big disappointment for me. And it wasn't bad writing, like throughout. It was a bit slow, kind of like with the silent patient. So I was like, okay, the twist at the end has got to be good. There is, of course, but it wasn't. I was disappointed in the twist, you know? I mean, honestly, throughout the book, I was like, I don't know where this is going. Like, I don't know who it is. It could be this person. It could be this person. I was like thinking it may be that person. And then at the end, when there's a part where she finds something. She finds a little note. I don't want to give it away, but I was like, oh, that is from X, and it's this person who's doing it. And so I figured it out toward the end. I found it kind of sad, you know? Like, it was just really disturbing and weird. This book, I would say, isn't worth recommending even. It's not horrible. So I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Or 2.5 out of 5, whatever you prefer. For some reason, I don't like ranking on a five-star basis. Like, I need it to be... It doesn't feel right to be in that small window. Like, I've always rated things on a scale of 1 to 10. I would probably give this a 5, and meaning, like, it's an okay book, but I wouldn't recommend somebody to read it. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you should read that one type of thing, you know? Wasn't the worst book ever, though. After that, I started If He Had Been With Me. I finished this within like 30 hours or so. So this is about this girl, Autumn, and she grew up with this boy, Finn or Finney, and they were like best friends, and then they kind of grew apart. And it kind of just documents her journey through high school, like literally from freshman year through senior year, and like the awkward phases you go through and friendships that you go through. She does end up with this boyfriend, and that's the whole time we're like, they're in this relationship, but then there's still her neighbor who's basically kind of like family because it's her mom and then the boy's mom. They're neighbors and they're best friends, so they are always spending holidays together, eating dinners together, and yeah, they've always been, for the most part, good friends. And actually, the first page of this book, the first chapter, it's like a page and a half or so, tells you what the ending is, like what happens. So obviously, the rest of the book is basically just taking us through everything before this event occurred. And I think this book was good. Like, it was a good read. It's very young adult romance, which isn't a problem to me. Sometimes I struggle with it just because I would prefer like reading about at least people in their 20s, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was entertaining. Nothing wrong with the high school plot, I suppose. As far as the rating goes, I would give it like it was super predictable. Like, I knew it as I was going through. I would give it like a 6.5 to 7. Maybe a 7 to 7.5, I would say, because it's a good book. Like, this is one I would say is worth reading. It's nothing that's gonna like... I did not cry in this book. I think she should have saved. She shouldn't have put that first chapter. I think what happened should have gone at the end, and I probably would have cried then. But in my opinion, it would have been much more heartbreaking to read about it. I think I also didn't cry because it didn't really go into great detail about, like, around the event, about how she felt. Like, it did, but it didn't go into detail. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you just got to read it and you would understand what I mean by that. But to me, that's how I feel anyway. So yeah, I would say this is like a 7 overall. Super easy read though, and I did want to keep reading it. Like, it was, she has a nice style of writing, and I liked, I was able to quickly learn about all the characters and get like an image in my head and understand how they interact with each other, you know? Now I'm currently reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So I started that on Saturday, and so far it's actually not too bad. And I'm like 6 chapters in, I think. I'm definitely having to take my time reading through things because I just, one, want to make sure I tend to zone out with fantasies because it's like, it's almost like a different language. It's a different world, and you have to really focus on the words that you're reading and grasp the unusual terms, you know, like a grisha and what that is in this world. And there's something called the fold, or is it called the unsea? And it's like this, it's hard to explain, like a split through the country. This is based in Russia from my understanding, and it's like these flying demon things with talons. They call them something, I can't remember the name, Volcras. And yeah, it's like this scary place that they have to pass over, and I'll do a better job of explaining it when I actually give a review. But so far, it's not so bad, I'm happy to say. Having a really hard time focusing today, because there's like, well, as y'all know how I feel about work, but it's like just stuff I really don't want to do, and I have to like really focus and pay attention to it, because it's not that I can't mess it up. It's like literally me testing things and like writing up the test cases for the client so that they're perfect, basically. I was doing some of the work earlier, and I literally out loud was like, oh my god, what am I doing? Like, what is this, you know? Because I can't focus, I'm gonna take one of these little shots. So I've been drinking this here and there over the last week because it tastes good. But I've been putting it with milk, like making a little iced latte with it, which is actually really good. It says shake, breathe, drink. Take alongside your morning caffeine. Benefits build with daily use. Best served chilled. I'm just gonna take this shot of it. I'm really struggling, y'all. And all I want to do, as y'all know, there's no surprise here. All I want to do is read and or like do furniture shopping. Like I was looking on Amazon earlier this morning. I'm gonna wait and see if there's any sales for Prime Day, because that's coming up. I don't have Prime, but I'll pay for Prime if there's some deals on the stuff that I want, because there's like maybe I should stand up too. Let's do that. Like I added a TV console. Why is this so high? No, we don't need it higher. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, okay. So I found like the TV console that I want. Actually, I had already shown it to Sebastian. He likes it too. And it's just so cute. And then I want a matching coffee stand to go with it. And so all of that together would be like $350 without any sales. And then we need a good standing lamp that actually creates light in the living room, because I have the one that I used from my apartment, but that was for like a smaller space. Wait, y'all, why did that, like, I've been sitting here like focused for the last 2.5 hours at least. It's 4:40 now, and I have completed what I know, like what I feel confident in doing. I need somebody else. She's out of office today. So that's good. I put on some jazz music or whatever this is that it's like live with a fall background. I have a deployment tonight in like 20 minutes. It shouldn't take too long. 6:30 p.m. and I'm logging off now. Oh, I just shut this off. Why did I do that? What a day. What a day. I did focus though, so that's good. Shout out to Magic Mind. Do I want to go to the gym right now? No. But we're gonna go because it's a Monday. It's a gluten hamstring day. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I have made... Just ignore the bed, alright? I've made quite a bit of progress on this book. Look how pretty the cover is, first of all. I hate that this is here. This Netflix thing. It's not even a sticker. It's like literally on the cover. But I think these covers are beautiful. So yeah, almost halfway through. But actually, I didn't sleep well last night. Surprise. It's on and off. Like, for a week or so, or a couple of weeks, I was sleeping really well, but then it like, I don't know. Of course I read before bed and made a pretty decent amount of progress, but then I woke up in the middle of the night. It was like 1:30 or so, and I couldn't go to sleep. And I turned on my light because I was looking for my water, because I couldn't find it. And then I was like, I'll just read. So I was reading for like 30 minutes at basically 2 in the morning. And that was so I could get sleepy again. But it did kind of work, because then I read like 3 chapters and went back to sleep. Seems to be quite a gloomy day today. And Tuesdays, as I've mentioned before, are always my busiest day. And today is no exception. It's actually probably worse than what things usually are. And now, yesterday, I meal prepped my food. So I had a bunch of food in the sink, or not a bunch of food, a bunch of dishes in the sink. And there was a bunch of water, of course. And then I heard like a trickling sound. And I was like, that doesn't sound right, you know? So I go to open, and there's just water leaking everywhere. So that's fun. Basically, this is no longer sealed here. This is gross. I hate sinks. Yeah, I don't know if you can't see it, but yesterday when it was wet, I was able to like move that around. Basically, the sink drain is no longer sealed to the sink. So I purchased a new sink drain. I don't think I needed to. I made this discovery at like 9:30 p.m. because, as you'll know, it was like a long day yesterday. So I watched a couple of videos on how to fix this, and obviously that takes more time. So then I wouldn't have been able to drive to Home Depot, and they close at 10. So I placed an order for pickup for a new sink drain, the plumber's putty, and then this like universal sink wrench. And I might pick that up today. I don't know if I'll be, I don't know. So I have a full day of meetings, like probably 5 hours of meetings. And then I have a client call at 5 p.m., a new client, which is exciting. That's for my stuff, which is exciting. And then after that, I would like to go to the gym. But before going to the gym, I could pick up from Home Depot. And then once I get home, after I eat dinner, I could probably attempt to fix this. But yeah, a little frustrated because of course this would happen when Sebastian is not here. You know what? It's Tuesday. I have to film Transfer Tuesday at some point and edit that at some point. It's not even 8 a.m. yet, so I think I'm gonna just like hop on work early, which I do anyway. But that way I can film for 30 minutes and probably edit at some point during the day. All right, come with me to get a snack. I talked with Sebastian for a little bit. Here, let me turn this on. Which one is it? This one? Talked with Sebastian for like 20 minutes before he went to bed, because over there it's like, I don't know how many hours ahead. It was like 10 p.m. at my 4 p.m. So that was nice to see him. We were like on WhatsApp video call. I just got off of a client call. It is 7:10 p.m. 7:12 p.m. And it was a bit longer than I expected it to be, which is fine. I don't mind. But I didn't eat anything before that because I had a meeting 4 to 5. I had, 5 hours of meetings today. So I was gonna go to the gym, but that's just not gonna happen. And also, before going to the gym, I was gonna pick up my sink stuff to fix the sink, and then I was gonna go after this, even if I didn't go to the gym. But nah, I'm not, like, what's the point of taking an extra trip when I'm gonna go over there tomorrow? Like, I'll be going to the gym tomorrow and I can pick it up.
And so our journey to a work-optional life began. Starting with a move from LA to the mountains near Lake. No matter what your circumstances are or where you're starting, you'll come away from this audiobook with a detailed, concrete plan to make your dream of less work and more life a reality.
Good morning, y'all. Sorry, there's 2 of me. It's kind of weird. It's, I tried to look at my watch again. It's not there. It's 6:54 in the morning on Wednesday. It's still dark outside, and like I want to go for a walk, but I would have to wait until literally like 7:15, probably at the earliest. And I just really don't want to walk by myself, completely by myself, home alone, in the dark. Yeah, so I haven't been going walking, which is a bummer. Maybe I'll go midday, but that's just sometimes hard with work. And plus it gets really hot still, like we're in the fall, you know. But if you live in the South or a hot state, then you know, fall doesn't really start until like late October, November. I'm just doing my hair, listening to an audiobook, work optional. I wanted to mention, I still get questions about my hair. I think I've talked about my hair pretty frequently, but people always ask like, how is your hair so long? It looks so healthy. Honestly, y'all, I think it's just genetics. Like, it's genuine. Like, I don't use any sort of heat protectant. The most like care that I do for my hair is that I use custom shampoo from Pros, custom shampoo and conditioner from Pros, and I've used them for years. But even before that, I had like long and healthy hair. I will say with Pros, it has like significantly improved. I think I have a referral link. It's not like affiliate or anything, but yeah, I can share that. That has been helpful with like detangling, because I did have an issue with that. And always, when I was younger and throughout my 20s, I always had dry scalp. So that has significantly helped with that. But yeah, I genuinely, y'all, I think it's genetics. I don't use any sort of heat protectant. I do like eat pretty clean. I eat vegetables and fruits. I take vitamins and supplements. So maybe that has played a role, but I've always had long hair. Like, it's just how it works, you know? I literally apply heat to my hair almost every single day, and it still looks like this with no protectant. The other thing, I mean, maybe I should just leave it like this. I have this issue with, like, it looks fine here. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it. Should I just embrace the cowlick? I don't like my cowlicks. I like them for the volume, but I usually have to straighten that, because to me, when I curl my hair, or even when I straighten my hair and my cowlicks aren't straightened, it doesn't look put together. So I always have to like straighten the edges here, because it's mostly here. Like, I have cowlicks, as you can see, and I don't know. I might leave it, because it looks kind of nice. I also only wash my hair like twice a week. It's like there's no schedule, you know? Just wash it when I am home early enough so that I don't have to fall asleep with wet hair. Sometimes I'll blow dry it a little bit. That's only so I don't go to sleep with wet hair. I don't blow dry it in order to style it. I would like to, but it's just too much. So my hair doesn't get too greasy, honestly. Like, it just doesn't happen. But if I do get a sweaty scalp when I go to the gym, but even with that. But if it does, I use this from Lush. No Drought dry shampoo. Do they even make this anymore? Do you know when I bought this, y'all? Let me just tell you, used by 2019, May 2019. I bought this probably it says it was made on October 12th, 2016. I probably bought this in 2016. That shows you how little I use of it. One other thing I wanted to mention, I meant to mention this in my last video. My lashes. It's so embarrassing. I have like no lashes, y'all. Like, they're also kind of the color of my hair, like brown. But I've been using Lash by Maya, and like, you can see my lashes now. They have grown. This is a lot of lash for me. I don't wear any mascara or anything. I just put this on every single day. I don't do it at night. I do it during the day so that it's on for like a longer amount of time. But this works. Lash by Maya. I bought this last year. I saw it on TikTok. That's why I got rid of TikTok, part of the reason, because it's too distracting, and I spent more money because of TikTok, because I was so convinced by all these people. Though this is a great product, so I'm glad I bought it. I bought 2 of them. I think she sold them for like 2 for $25 or something, and I was nervous that it was a scam because it took some time to get here, but it's not a scam. And honestly, I haven't even checked if her website is still up. I think she has her own eyelash business or whatever, but this genuinely works. And I remember on the packaging it said it was cruelty-free and vegan. I used to use Grand Lash, and that did work, but it turned my eyelids it turned my eyelids pink. There was like a line of pink, so it looked like I had no sleep. And there's all this powder on me. And it would make my eyes itch, but now this one doesn't cause that. So that's cool. You do have to, you gotta use it every single day. If you stop, your eyelashes are not gonna grow. You gotta be consistent. I started listening to, I got a free Audible credit. So I started listening to Work Optional. Or somebody recommended this in my finance comments. And I've heard this book before, but it just sounded like the right time to listen to it. And so far, I really like it. She's basically saying everything I feel. By the way, do y'all remember when I showed you this? Look, it's like all gone. I'm gonna rebuy this because I love it. Like, it's not sticky, but I love how it's glossy. Okay, sorry, I have promoted 6 products to y'all. No pressure to buy anything. I'm just sharing literally what I use. I was gonna order a coffee. It just sounds so good right now. And I have 120 stars at Starbucks right now, but I forgot a latte is a 200-star item. So it would be over $6. And that's literally, that's a book, y'all. Why would I do that? That's a book. Listening to Ryan, of course. He has a couple new songs out, so y'all should go listen. He says he has an album coming out, but if you've never listened to Ryan, he has so many songs. You can go back for years and fall in love. Anywho, it's 5:26. I'm here at Home Depot. Okay, this is a lot heavier than I was expecting. This is a universal sink drain wrench. Got a new sink strainer. I didn't need this, but I wanted a clean one just in case. And then some putty. This is so much smaller than I thought. A little plumber's putty that you use to seal it. So that's that. Hello and happy Thursday. I haven't chatted with y'all today. I also didn't, what am I doing? I also didn't talk much yesterday, I don't think. Wasn't in a great headspace today. That's why I didn't pick up the camera. Yesterday was busy. Today was busy too. Actually, I did vlog yesterday, huh? Because I went to Home Depot. Well, after that, I went to the gym, and then I had a client call at 8:15, and then today had work, obviously. Then I had a client call at 5 this is all my finance clients. So as you can see, killing it with the clients, which is very exciting. And as you can tell, I'm quite sweaty. I just came back from the gym. It was a leg day. I am legs are literally shaking like Bambi. I wasn't gonna fix the sink today, but I need to. I don't need to, but I don't want to do this on a Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't really want to do that after work, so I'm gonna do it today. Gotta find that video. There was this one guy who, his video was great, but he had this music in the background, and it was just awful. Awful. So I'm not gonna watch that one.
Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is grab our channel locks, loosen and remove this nut. We're also gonna loosen the nut right here on the back side of the trap. That way we can swing the trap and the extension out.
And the reason I'm doing this now, I didn't want to go take a shower and get clean and then come down here. Yo, this is so uncomfortable. Anything with like water and plumbing really just disgusts me. Okay, I'm stressing because this is hard already. Okay, y'all. This isn't quite the strategy I was going for, but I've made some progress because now we can get this thing off. Yeah, you see all the... It's all the putty came off. There's a hole now, so things are looking like...
Part. So we'll separate all that out and set it aside.
Okay, this has a new one. This all comes apart. Ah.
Next, we'll open our plumber's putty. We'll get a small amount out. We'll set it on the counter. We'll use our fingers to roll it.
Wait. We're going a little thicker, y'all, because I saw everybody
Now
else.
that we have the plumber's putty on the sink basket, we'll go ahead and use our thumbs, go all the way around, pushing the plumber's putty up against the sink basket.
That's what it's looking like. Is that enough? Wow, it's very like... Okay. Put it on the basket. Ooh, it fits. Smooth the lines. I saw somebody doing this on a video. He was like, make sure it's in there. God, you know, could be a plumber. Wouldn't do it, but I could be a plumber. Do y'all want to see? I want y'all to see because I am proud. Okay, so we're pushing this. Not too hard. Ah, I see. Okay. Ugh, my arms hurt. I'm still just tightening this, y'all. Like it's still turning, and it's just hard. I'm gonna fucking break the sink, I think. Here's where it's at right now. It's looking pretty good, but it looks like it can keep going down. So I'm gonna keep working on tightening it. Okay, it's in. All the videos I see still have the putty on there, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Set this back up. I tightened that until I could barely breathe. So they say to test it. And then check for leaks. I don't see anything. Let's go a little heavier. Let's go a little heavier. I don't see any leaks, y'all. I don't see any leaks. That's so cool. Okay, I just put the sink to the ultimate test and washed the dishes in that drain, and it's still looking good. So that's good news. I need to inject my Humira. We're doing the right side. I feel like I haven't talked about it in quite some time, you know? I actually, when I first started with Humira, like the first year, I only injected my legs. But then I kept like hitting a vein, or I don't know, like I would hit a vein and then literally my leg would be, I don't know how to explain it. It wouldn't be numb per se. It was just this odd feeling for the rest of the night. And then in the morning, I would wake up with this like large, well, not large, but like a quarter-size purple bruise. And because it's like, I don't know why I can't not hit veins, and it like would hurt really bad. Sometimes it hurts when I do it in my stomach too, but it's definitely not as bad, I think, because I have more fat there. There was one time though that I think it was my fault. I didn't squeeze my skin tight enough. You're supposed to like push your fat up, and the needle didn't go in properly. So then it like bent, and it just like I pulled it out because it hurt, and it went everywhere. It was all over me, and it was like super sticky, and obviously like you have to, oh, there's an air bubble. But yeah, that happened only that one time. And then like after that, I started getting like fearful of injecting. But I just like, just do it, you know? It's been fine. And I don't typically bruise on my stomach. It does leave like this lifted mark, like it looks like a giant mosquito bite for about a day or two, and then it goes away. It's still been working for me though. I've almost been on Humira for 2 years, and my blood level, my like inflammation looks really good. My Humira count, like the level of Humira in my body looks really good. When I first start, like 6 months into my Humira journey, I had a lot of antibodies to Humira. My body was trying to like stop it. But then that went away. So that's pretty cool. It's just interesting. I mean, I don't love taking Humira. It's just, you know, it's helping me. It's what gave me my life back, you know? So it is what it is. And I don't even think about it at this point. There's sometimes I forget, to be honest. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta inject. There's like an app where you log. That's supposed to be my stomach. And this is the right side, so I would be lost without this. Like I literally forget which side I injected on. Sometimes this thing reminds me and I'm like, oh yeah, tomorrow's the day that I need to do that. I'm gonna spend the rest of the night editing, and because I need to finish my September finance update video for my other channel. And then after I finish that, or at least like get through the bulk of it, I'm gonna read and go to bed. It is 9:02 p.m.